Hello, everyone. My name is Stunnington. Welcome back to Cupid, a visual novel. Now, in the last episode, we made it to the library to continue our progress of reading. Because apparently, Rosa doesn't know how to read yet. Which is understandable since the time she's currently in. Also, Guilleme is getting all up in our face. But yeah, let's just get back into it. Rosa's heart thumped loudly inside her chest. Please, don't. Not you two. She felt his breath on her face, and her heart sank into despair. She shut her eyes and prepared herself for the worst, like she always did when, oh, it's only like a minute in, I'm already feeling sad. Oh. Then she felt her face being turned from side to side. She opened her eye to see Guilleme. She says I, because she only has one. She opened her eye to see Guilleme studying her face like a textbook. Oh, you are a fairly attractive girl. Why do you carry yourself as if it is a slight? He lifted the hair that hid her damaged eye. Rosa clenched her teeth. Is it because you were hurt before? He said it so matter-of-factly, like he was stating that sky was blue. Guess so. Rosa recoiled from his touch. No. I did that myself. I wasn't talking about your eye. He placed the book on the table. It was a thin pamphlet filled with letters. There were lines in the book that instructed the user to trace letters with their quill. Okay, quill. Rosa wanted to focus on it, but she could feel the truth in the Marquis's words stinging her. It was the way you went limp when I touched you. Oh. 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 Next time, I advise you to fight back. Oh, my heart. Oh. This is, okay. If you don't want to be touched, then you don't have to be. Do you understand this? But I am weak. Says who? His eyes were humorless. The world cares not for people who think of themselves as victims, Rosa. If you need power, then be powerful. I can live by that. Some words to live by. To have it, it is necessary to crush things along the way. I think I changed his voice from last episode. Rosa flinched under the weight of his stare. There are also people. Well, besides, the voice also changed because there's also people in the house, and I don't want them to know I'm recording this, because it might be weird. She realized that the polite and courteous Guilleme was but a facade. It was still him, but it was nothing but an oil portrait, an artwork of his devising. Synthetic, aloof, and irrelevant. It couldn't capture his essence in a few human strokes. Suddenly, Rosa realized he was powerful. Who are you? She caught herself before saying it out loud. You are not Guilleme. And yet, he spoke to her as if he knew what it was like to hurt and to fear. If you don't start acting like you own yourself, then people will not hesitate to take everything. He laid out the rest of the books he had brought out. One was an activity book for children. It had a picture of a child holding an apple with an arrow stuck in it. Another was a book of limericks, whatever you say that. The other two were thicker books that intimidated her. She would come to know them as Hamlet and Paradise Lost. But the one that caught her eye was an ornately designed book. It had a beautiful red jacket, with delicate gold trimmings lining the corners. The gods and goddesses of Roman mythology. Oh, Zeus and all them guys. This would be her favorite book, her treasure, and she knew it like love at first sight. These books are yours. Take them with you. Read thin ones first, and then gradually build your vocabulary with the thicker ones. I think we'll stick to that voice. It's easier for me to work with. Rosa ran her hands over the skin of the red book. She opened the cover gingerly, as if carefully unwrapping a present. Thank you. No thanks needed. I simply showed you some books from a portion of the library you were unaware of. That. You are still so generous, even if you are like this. Like what? Oof. That. What? Somewhat irritable? Guilleme didn't reply, leaving an awkward silence lingering between them. Oof. Then he gave a giant laugh that made Rosa jump out of her skin. Oh, look at my dude. Look at that smirk on his face. That's some shit-eating grin right there. I do look damn irritable, don't I? Why? Is it because of Emilia, whatever. Guilleme's eyes drifted away. No. I've always been. You just pointed it out. But you are not usually like this. Especially with Catherine and the townspeople. I find it easy to adapt to people, especially to the ones I like. Guilleme looked at Rosa as if he had just become aware of her presence. Makes me wonder why I'm so stern with you. I'm sorry. Rosa shook her head. I somewhat prefer this side of you. Oh. Guilleme cocked his head to the side. He brought out the green book that Rosa noticed earlier. This is called a journal. When you learn to write, start one. What is it? This is something you can use to remember yourself when you've forgotten. Oh. That's kind of deep. Does it work? It used to. Nowadays, not anymore. Oh. The act itself is the only thing I remember. Now, let's start with your vowels. Oh, fuck, Jesus fucking Christ, that scared me. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell was that? Oh. Oh. I got fucking chills. What the hell? It was Catherine. Guilleme sprinted to the door with Rosa not far behind. Oh. Back in the piano room, Catherine took a shaky step towards her sister. She wasn't moving at all. I didn't. Oh, fuck. It was an accident. Emilia. She was overcome with the urge to approach her sister and shake her awake. Oh, fuck. Make sure she was okay. But it was a nasty fall. Emilia? Oh. Yo, I was expecting this. It was first a touchy moment, but then, oh my gosh. Catherine saw the way her sister's head snapped back as it collided with the sharp corner of the piano. What the fuck? She watched it all like a series of photographs in her head. She had to check on her, but her feet refused to move. Instead, she began to retreat into a corner. She didn't even notice her legs were moving until her forehead touched the wall. She didn't want to turn around. Oh! Her sister was on the floor. Her eyes were still open, unblinking. It was an accident. It was nothing but an accident. Who was it? She pushed first. She got really scary. She strangled me. What? That's absurd. Are you sure? Would she do that? I... I don't know. I think she did. Catherine touched her throat. It felt fine. That pure-eyed girl. Emile, is it? She really believes just because the Marquis took her in that he's interested in her. In her? Well, she's obsessed with the master. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Oh, wasn't her mother a bit, you know, not right in the head? Oh, it probably runs in the family. Emilia had looked mad. Her eyes had burned with malice for her as she had closed her fingers around Catherine's neck. But she couldn't remember that had really happened. Sister was always kind to her. She would never ever hurt her, even when they got into fights. Sister loved her. Uh, I'm so uncomfortable. Dot dot dot. Am I turning mad? I have the blood of a mad woman. Am I going to end up like her? I only told her the truth. Guilleme doesn't care for her. And she doesn't even care for him that much either. It was all just chaff, their relationship. No sense trying to make everyone else miserable too. But she called me jealous and a bitch. She has never called me a bitch. She said they have decided to send me away. My lessons sent home. The piano replaced. It was for my own good, she said. I don't have to travel here all the time. I can concentrate on my other endeavors. I can make new friends. But I know she just doesn't want me near the chateau or Guilleme. She hates it when I catch her with him. Perhaps this morning was the last straw. She hates it, but she also smirks at me when I see them. Like she basks in it. Dot dot dot. I think I might hate her. Catherine's thought ran through her head like a storm. They poured out of her aimlessly. Oh, I wonder if the piano's broken. Am I going to pay for it? What will become of us without sister's wages? What of father's medicine? What of my dreams? Sister can't be dead. Sister can't be dead. Catherine brought her fingers to her lips and nibbled on her thumb. She didn't notice this. Her mind was preoccupied. She was in her corner of the wall, biting her fingers. It was a tiny comfort in a rapidly collapsing world. Guilleme opened the door and found Amelia lying on the floor. An ugly gash broke the skin of her forehead. Facing the wall was Catherine, shivering like a leaf and viciously devouring one of her fingernails. He approached her cautiously. Catherine. Sorry, Catherine. Rosa was out of breath, but was still able to let out a gasp at the scene. Amelia's lifeless eyes stared up at nothing while Catherine pressed herself into a corner. What had happened after she had left? Rosa, will you call for help, please? See that someone checks on Amelia. Rosa did as she was told, but what she really wanted to do was hug Catherine herself. Guilleme took a small step towards her. He called out her name slowly, coaxingly. Catherine turned her head, her thumb still on her lower lip. It was an accident. I swear. Of course it was. Catherine, of course it was. She pushed me first. She wanted me sent away. She wanted me gone. You can tell me about it later. Let me take you away from this room. What have I done? Catherine fell to her knees and wept. Large sobs sucked the air out of her. She felt like drowning, trying to keep herself afloat in between sobs. Every exhale was a squeezing pain in her lungs. She felt Guilleme's arms wrap around her. What have I done? What have I done? You didn't do anything, Monsieur. This is not your fault. There was a bitter bulge building up in her throat, and she felt that no amount of crying could push it back down. What am I going to do? Father is... Sister... I'm so scared. Guilleme's arms wound tighter around her as she clutched onto his warmth in this vast sea of fear. You don't have to be. I will always be by your side. Catherine, I will take care of you and your father, all right? You don't have to worry about your future. Her tears soaked his shirt through, but the squeezing in her chest felt less painful. Why? Why do you do this? Why do you care so much for me? Guilleme's brows floured forward, as if confused that she even asked. I just do. It was a boldly stated fact, as if plainly obvious, as if Catherine was a fool for not knowing it. It made Catherine's heart expand in her ribs. When she looked back, she would recall that this as the moment she fell in love with him. The look in his eyes was reassuring and strong. Oh, she wasn't alone. She's going to be all right. Let's get you away from here. He supported her arms and stood her up, careful to block the view of her sister from her eyes. He led her to the door. Catherine hated how fast her relief came. She was still drenched in sorrow at her sister's death. Her father would not take well to the news, especially in his health. But she was all right, and she hated it. Rosa was with her. She didn't have to leave her piano, her dreams, him. Nothing had to change. And most importantly, she hated the voice that came whispering in her head over and over again. Thank goodness she's dead. Thank goodness. Oh, that's not good. Okay, I don't want. I'm just. Oh, I'm scared. The first candle is lit. This candle is storage. Is storage. The love for familiars. The cleanest love. Rosa stared at the blue candle glowing in her hand as she chanted her spell. Oh, back to magic. Truth is, the veil that conceals and deceives. Trick his eyes and his heart with the warmth from this candle's flame. The bond of blood like kin will be forged. Weave this trust till his tongue will yield to what is sought. I think I'm speaking as Rosa right now, but I didn't notice. Rosa stood by Catherine's tomb, nursing memories of her. The soft wind lightly blew her hair. Oh, that's a nice dress. It reminded her of Catherine and her playful ways. Tears sprouted from her eye, even the wind. We're sticking to the good parent route. We're gonna console our child. I am always here, my love. Not much. Loss will always hurt, But you love Mother the best, don't you? That's not that good of consolence. Could have done better. Yes, yes, Mother. Then you are going to be fine. I will never leave you like Catherine did. Rosa. Guilleme's soft voice came from behind. Rosa glanced at him in acknowledgement. Ta. He stood quietly beside her for a few moments, but ventured to speak. Have you thought about my offer? My house is always open for you. Remember that. I kinda don't trust Guilleme anymore. Like, he seems like a nice guy. But we don't have the full story of what the hell happened between him and Catherine. Or we got a piece of the story between him and Amelia. But like, it's not enough. I just don't trust him anymore. Ta. I'm sorry for my outburst back then. It's nothing. The wind played around their feet, and Rosa pictured Catherine as part of the breeze, playful and free. Oh, this is sad. She was free from the pain and confusion that had plagued her in her last days. They stood beside each other in solemn reverence. Finally, Rosa broke the silence. She was my family. I was in pain before she came along. I didn't know any better. She gave me hope. She was bright, like a flame. When I close my eyes, I can still see the imprint of her light in the darkness. I can feel her warmth. A star. A star. They didn't speak again for some time. Guilleme cleared his throat. I was an orphan too, much like you. I know what it feels like to lose too much. I wandered for a long time before I found anything to live for. Were you alone? Sometimes. Always. Rosa nodded. Did you have family? Guilleme shifted uncomfortably. No. They left me behind. I never knew them. Much of my memory of it is blurred. I was taken in by kind people once before, but... Guilleme sighed, and Rosa observed a certain disquiet in him. I didn't belong. Dot. But you have no difficulty mingling with people. Dot. I think of that as a necessity rather than a preference. But either way, it can be quite tiresome after a while. Things don't last. Dot. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I am making the mood worse. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Guilleme had never opened up to her about his past before, and it worried Rosa how little she actually knew about him. Anyway, would you like to go around town? Oh, I can't handle this. My little heart can't handle this. Which is why I'm going to end this episode here. So, yeah, this episode took a 180 in under a millisecond. But I'm still enjoying this. This is very interesting to read. So yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to look out for the next episode of Cupid and anything else I post in the future. My name's been Stunnington, and I'll see you all next time.